time to dive into the depths of barrel-aged beer yet again. And from whom do we have said brew to review? We have one from Monday Night Brewing out of Atlanta, Georgia, USA. Yay, yay. And what beer do we have from them today? We have their Drafty Kilt Bourbon Barrel Aged. This is Scotch Ale. It's a limited serving and clocks in at 8.5% ABV and 26 IBUs. Now, for ingredients in this, in the hop department, they're using Columbus and Willamette. And for malt, they're using cherrywood smoked malt, chocolate malt, and roasted barley. That sounds awesome and straightforward kind of Scotch ale. Now, this is their flagship brew that they created way back in the day when they were in a church group club, and this was an original homebrew recipe, and regular Drafty Kilt is one of their most popular beers. Now, this is the Bourbon Barrel Aged Riff on it, 2018 edition. Now, you're saying, DJ, you don't get a Monday Night Brewing beer in Baltimore, Maryland, USA? Well, how'd you get this? Well, my friends at Monday Night Brewing hooked me up with this beer and an awesome snifter that says this is part of their Black Tie series as well. So they sent us the information about the brewery, some beers coming out, and a ton of information about Drafty Kilt Bourbon Barrel Aged. So you know what? You gotta love that. And when somebody sends you an awesome brew like this, you gotta review it. So it's time to stop flapping my gums, crack the top on this, get in the snifter, the actually correct Monday Night Brewing snifter, and tell you what's up with Drafty Kilt Bourbon Barrel Aged. Hell yes. Nice crack off the top. It's that time. Look at that malty deliciousness going into the glass. Hell yes. It was nice of them to send me 2 of these as well, because if I love it, I won't be able to get another one. So that's how it goes sometimes. So let's talk about this brew. It's a really super dark garnet color. Trust me, I can see some like red glints coming through the glass itself. We've got a half finger of super tightly packed bubble khaki head. When I swirl it, yeah, we're getting some alcohol legs swirling up on the side of the glass. And I do believe we will get some glass lacing as well as the beer recedes and it goes down my neck. But take a look at that brew. Delicious in the glass. It probably looks black to you, but really, trust me, it is garnet colored. So it's gorgeous, especially in its appropriate glassware, but it's got to smell good too. So let's dive in for that aroma. Lots of smoky malt, then bourbon right after that in the background. Vanilla, char, a bit of licorice, some chocolate and coffee notes. More smoky aroma coming up. I guess that's from the cherrywood smoked malt. Tons of vanilla, rum-soaked raisins for sure. Some roast in the back end, but it's all about bourbon, cherry smoked malt, vanilla, tons and tons of caramel. Man, this smells delicious. Not a hint of alcohol in the aroma besides that of spirit bourbon. Let's dive in. Thanks a million, guys, for sending this. My new friends at Monday Night Brewing. Cheers! Nice. Proper Scotch ale. Right up in front, though, you're first greeted with bourbon. It's bourbon barrel aged. First, after that bourbon, then that smoky malt comes in. A good bit of chocolate. Tons of burnt brown sugar and toffee. Way more burnt brown sugar and toffee on the taste than it was, apparent in the aroma. The bourbon barrel aging was big and large and in charge. Middle to the back of the palate, I'm getting vanilla. Some earthy hop, some earthy hop notes in there. It's got enough bitterness from roast and hop to balance out all the malt sweetness and the bourbon barrel characters. Medium full body. Medium full to medium thin, somewhere in that range. That's what you expect on a Scotch ale. Usually they aren't super viscous beers, not gloopy and syrupy. Easy to crush this beer at 8.5%. The alcohol is completely hidden. I don't get any burning in the chest or anything like that at all. The alcohol is completely hidden, like I said. Nice oak notes as well. A bit of char in the back end. I'm not sure if that's coming from the barrel or the smoked malt. Most likely it's the smoked malt. Quite crushable for a bourbon barrel aged beer. And the thing that I'm impressed with is it's not super thin. Sometimes when you start out with a beer that's about 8.5%, then you bourbon barrel age it, it thins it out even more than it should be. That hasn't happened with this beer. I'm impressed. Really tasty. You know what? Lots of nice layers of flavor. In the back of the palate, I've got this like bourbon and licorice thing going on, which I'm digging. Anywho, I was digressing. That's what I do. You know that. Anywho, let's grade it. At time of recording, Beer Advocate has given this 3.98 out of 5. So I would say that's probably their super high A- to A range because it's almost 4. So let's call it A. And Untapped has given this 4.07 out of 5 caps. Definite A range for those guys. I'm going to go 95 myself on this. I could use a touch more viscosity and maybe a little more bourbon presence. But besides that, really super tasty brew. Super crushable. And guys, thanks a million for sending this setup. If you want to send any more beers, feel free. I will review away. But anywho, I'm going to enjoy this can and finish crushing this one, no problem at all. And you know what? Thanks for sending it. Anywho, we got to talk about something really important now. We got to talk about what? Thinking globally, drinking locally, and support the craft beer movement. Also, if you have had Monday Night Brewing's Drafty Kilt, Bourbon Barrel Aged, or the regular one, let me know what you know because I like to quid pro quo the back and forth. I also really like it when you can get around to it and maybe consider rating, commenting, subscribing, especially if this is your first time with us. Join the team, join the crew, learn more about beer, booze, and whatnot. And also, if you can get around to it, help me put those Google metrics up into the stratosphere. You know what you got to do for that. You got to smash that like button because that, along with one can, is all I'm going to need of Monday Night Brewing's Drafty Kilt Bourbon Barrel Aged to put my big-ass happy face on. So, the next DJs BrewTube, I got nothing but a hell a bunch of beer drinking love for you, and you know what's coming for you by now. That's right, a big ass t-shirt!